Welcome back. This is going to be a bit of a catch up to the YouTube Pagan Challenge again because I fell behind again. This will actually be a combination of week 20 and 21. Week 20 asked about, initiations, your thoughts on initiations, stuff like that. The reason why I'm combining this with 21 is because I don't have much to say about initiations. I've never been initiated in a coven. I have done group work before. I did very early on in my path. I did Grove classes. I didn't finish Grove classes, life interrupted, but I started on that path. And actually, once you've completed that, you were invited to be initiated into the coven of the high priest and priestess who ran those Grove classes. And this was in Manhattan. And I did like the group work. But and eventually I just became solitary because at that time I had a lot of questions. I wasn't sure if I wanted to join a coven. What would that mean? Am I beholden to honoring whatever deities that they honor as opposed to what I'm connected with? Which at the time I was not connected to any particular deity. I was just honoring the god and goddess, and that was it. Could I commit to a coven? That also was a thing. But they were very nice people, very friendly. They had the Grove classes in the backyard of the store. And wonderful store. Everyone who works there is amazing, friendly people. If you're in the New York area, I totally encourage you to visit Enchantments because I believe it's still there. It's been there for many years. I think it started in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken. And they've grown since to, I believe they have an online shop now, a website. So, but the staff that was there, working there when I started on my path, were very knowledgeable. They took the time to help you if you had questions about oils, herbs, whatever. They would take the time to answer your questions. They were very friendly people. The high priest and priestess who ran the Grove classes also worked in the store. I don't believe they owned the store, but they worked there too. And people there always took the time to get to know their customers. So it was almost as if you weren't just a customer. Many ways you were like a friend, which was great because years later, one actually found me on, I'm not on this site anymore because there was a lot of drama, but Pagan Space, somehow he found me on my profile. I don't know how because I did not use my real name or anything, but he found me. So that was great, and we had reconnected for a little bit there, but would I be initiated into a coven now at this stage in the game? I've been solitary for many years, and actually at this point I would like to join a coven, but that's not an option where I'm at. There's just not very many. I know there's a heathen group out here that has a coven, or I don't know if heathens would call it a coven, but there are pagans out here who celebrate, but they're not a coven per se, but they do come together as a group for sabbats, and they have drum circles and things like that. I have not gone to any of those yet. I've never been initiated, as I said. I At that time, I don't think I would have been ready to be initiated into a coven because I just had so many questions, so many things I didn't know and didn't understand. Now, would I be? Probably. If I found the right one, yes, I think I would be. Out here, there are not very many. I don't even know if there's covens in the city I live in. I know there's like a heathen, I don't know if they call it covens, but there is a heathen group. And there are a group of pagans out here, and they do meet. They have, and I think it's hosted by a store. I'm not sure, a pagan store out here, but they do have drum circles, and they meet for sabbats and things like that. However, I have self-dedicated. Within my first year of the path, I did a self-dedication, dedicating myself to a year and a day's study. A few years later, I did a rededication on Lammas. I think a video about that was on this channel, one of my very first videos, I think, if not the first video. And then I'm actually planning to do another self-dedication because I feel it's time and needed for Litha. So that's, I don't really have much to say about initiations. The only things I find troubling are when you come across people in the community who look down on some pagans or some witches because they're not initiated into a coven, or some who might look down because you're not initiated into an Alexandrian or Gardnerian line, especially. But you know what? That is, I think that holds true for any faith. You know, even in Christianity, there are some that look down upon others because they're, you know, one denomination over another. So I don't let that bother me. I don't sweat it. And yeah. But moving on to Book of Shadows. I actually have a few Book of Shadows I've worked on over the years. One I think might be in my craft area, so I can't find that right now, or it's in that bookcase. So I have binders. I like the idea of keeping a binder Book of Shadows because you can swap in and out what you want if stuff no longer serves you anymore. So I have things like, and these actually in the binders are things that I found online, things I might have compiled from what I found, stuff like that. So like this one is actually pretty scattered. I don't know that I separated things well in here, but it's like here I have a dedication of an altar and athame. And I make sure when I print stuff like this that I have the websites handy. I have like and it's just things I come across, so there really is no order in here, and I probably should go through and put things in order, but you know, information on crystal clearing. I have some other rituals, how to release the circle, you know, yeah, how to release the circle, things like that. I like to write different colors, the words that I'm going to say. I have techniques on grounding and separating, centering in here. Here is a basic ritual format to help me for when I want to write my own rituals. Then I have, let's see what else is here. messing up the binder. I'd like to put them in the the page protectors, because stuff like this, I wreck loose leaf paper. I don't know. I have a self-blessing ritual here, and a purification ritual. And then here I have an invocation to Isis. And invocations to the goddess, and I have some invocations to the goddess and to the god. And then I have a house cleansing. So mainly this one, I put actual rituals and spells into this binder one. What else? Yeah, so it's just like more spells and more rituals. So this section here has all these are Sabbat rituals. So that's that one. Now this binder is all just informative. It's pretty darn thick. So this is just information, not spell ritual, spell work or ritual work. So here is like the Witch's Creed, 13 Principles of Wiccan Belief, the Wiccan Reed, ideas for altars and sabbats, information on Triple Goddess. Oh, and I also have Charge of the Goddess, how to build an altar. I just have some pictures of Isis and Bast and Sekhmet there. Just some pictures I found online that I really liked, so I decided to stick them in here. Also have a picture of Ma'at up here and Hecate down here. I didn't necessarily honor these deities. These were just, I just wanted to keep those pictures. So then we have information about the Triple Goddess, the Witch's Pyramid, information on the Cone of Power, symbols and signs there. So, and then I have information on all of this is basically just different information and things like that on the sabbats. The reason why it's so thick is because I used cardstock, like parchment cardstock, for it. Then I just have some information on like essential oils, like the correspondences of essential oils and color correspondences, and just that's mainly it. And then some other little pictures and things that I just liked and wanted to keep. So that's that. So that's the two binders. So one is rituals and spells, and this one is just information, purely informative. The one I use most when I do ritual is this one. It's not full. I don't even think it's halfway full. In here I have information or rituals or prayers or whatever pertaining to the deities that I honor now or have honored. So I started off this one with the book Blessing. Okay, with a book Blessing, and so I have like again the 13 goals of the witch, prayer to the goddess, and then I have information pertaining to Isis here. Oh, and the prayer of the awakening is a prayer to Isis as well. And then I just have a bunch of information about Isis, like her stones, what's sacred to her, her holy days, you know, different kinds of things. And then I have and I mainly got this for my daughter. It's a banishing rite for nightmares and their aftermath. And a lot of these I got, ooh, I can't remember the name of the book. If I remember, I'll put the name of the book somewhere. Is it? It's a book that I did a review on this channel, actually. But that's where I got a lot of these prayers and blessings from. And information. I have a daily devotional that I have written out here. I also have information on Ganesh. And then I just printed this out. In Hinduism, every aspect of the deity has symbology. With Ganesh, everything that is on him or usually associated with him or usually included in pictures of him, like a mouse more often than not. Not every picture will you see a mouse, but they all have a meaning. And also I discussed that in the video I did talking about Goddess Kali. Everything, the garland she wears, the garland of heads, the skirt of arms, her tongue, her skin color, everything, her disheveled hair, all, there's a purpose, there's a reason. Then I have these two cards in here, actually, because I have worked with Lakshmi, and I like the card. It's really just a card, but there's information about Lakshmi on the back, and one about Kuan Yin, and I got these from Earth Magic here where I live. And then I just have some other prayers that I like to do, information about Lakshmi, different prayers and blessings, and I have to, because I don't think I've added in this book, I have in another book, but I have to add information about Thoth in here. But this is what I use when I do ritual more often than not now. This is my go-to. So if there's something in like my ritual spell one that I see that I'm doing a lot of, I'll just shift that into here eventually. And briefly, this is going to be my daughter's Book of Shadows. I have several workbooks, and so I just copied the pictures because I thought it would be good to keep mark-free for my youngest daughter too. So I just copied the pictures. So it's like spiral and the triple goddess symbol, things like that, and then she can draw them. Some of the have like information about them, so I'm gonna keep loose leaf in here for her, and she can write about what she's read. But that's basically it. I do keep a spiritual journal, which I don't have on me right now, but I have discussed it a lot in several other videos, so I don't even feel like it's needed for this one. So thank you for watching, and blessed be.